So YouTube, I just kind of wanted to take you through a little video real quick. Um, the turbo kit finally came for my 99 Firebird. Um, I had been looking at several options with regards to what I had planned on doing with this vehicle. And the turbo kit honestly was kind of last on the list. Um, the option that I really was looking to do was the ported heads, the intake, the custom cam, um, true duals, which opens this thing up a lot, bigger valves and valve springs, and a tune to go 91. But I actually got this kit for a really good price. I called a custom fab shop. They wanted, close to 1,200 to 1,500 bucks to fabricate something for this car. I found a place online, and I literally got this thing for around 500 bucks, 550 bucks. And so when they offered it to me for 550 bucks, the first thing that I thought of is, if I don't buy it now, it may not be available a year from now, which is when I planned on actually taking the motor out and doing all the work. If you know anything about like the superchargers for the vets, or even the vets in general, these parts are becoming very hard to find. And I found myself within my mind thinking, you know what, this may not even be around. I think at the time, close to 100 people had already bought this kit, so it's a proven kit. There is some speculation from some people complaining about the welds and things like that, but my thought process is on anything is you never buy the first production run of anything. So when this kit became available, maybe there were some issues with the welds, or maybe there was some issues with the wastegate. But you're thinking maybe 2 or 3 years with this kit being released. I think actually 4 years with this kit being released, that they would have corrected those issues, because most businesses, to stay in business, right, they have to continue to improve their product, and no one's going to buy a product. And then the other part of that you have to think of when it comes to reviews is really how many people know what they're doing. If there's something that I think that I can do, I'll do it. But in all honesty, for somebody who does not like taking my car to a shop, if it's something that I know that somebody can do better, I'm taking it to a shop. So when you read reviews for anything, you have to look at whether or not people, it's hard for you to discern whether or not people actually know what they're doing, but that has to be a factor when you look at this. I read several reviews from people who said just the kit alone, for everything that they're doing from a cost perspective, is worth the money. Because think about it, they gave you your forward-facing intakes, the headers. They gave you your V-band clamp. They gave you your header connector or pipe. They gave you your T4 turbo. They gave you a 38 millimeter wastegate. Like, they gave you all that stuff. So it's built for you, and they gave you the possibility of upgrading the turbo with the tune. So when you look at all the retrofitting that was done for 550 bucks, listen, you ain't gonna get a better deal than this. The forward-facing headers alone, to have them retrofitted, is going to be more than half that price. So again, this is just going to be a short video to kind of take you through what comes with the kit. My recommendation, if you have an opportunity to get this kit, Firebird parts. I was looking online for an OEM Firebird cover the other day. I was looking online for OEM Firebird mats. This stuff doesn't exist, and if it does exist, they want, for a WS6 hood, $2,000. You can get a V6 for $4,000, right? So some of this stuff doesn't make sense, but the one thing that does make sense is pull the plug and buy it if it drops in your lap. So the other thing that I do plan on doing, and again, I gave you a couple options. You can go throttle body spacer, cold air intake, headers, cat delete, under drive pulleys. You can up the bore size, port and polish the head, CC the chambers, and upgrade the plugs with roller rockers and a 3.42 gear. You can also go upgrade the 308, which is what I have from factory, to either a 373 or 342 with a posi rear. You want to do your heads, lower intake manifold. I was thinking about supercharging it at that point, but I changed my mind and decided to go turbo. And looking at a lot of forums, turbo and nitrous seems to be the way to go. I read, I want to say 5 or 6 where people were able to run their motors with over 100,000 miles for years without any aftermarket fabrications, between 6 and I saw one guy with 15 pounds of boost. So I wouldn't recommend it, but I have read that it's been done, unless these people are not telling the truth. So if you go to supercharger, you got to go Gen 5 with the valve covers. I'm going to eliminate that because I went turbo. 136 pound valve springs and 42 pound injectors, cam, and headers. The cam actually seems to be the hardest issue for me. I went to Intense Cam. They're sold out of all the cams that I wanted for this. I was going to go Sloppy Cam. They're sold out. So that seems to be the hardest issue, is finding a non-Pontiac Firebird, you know, like that supercharged 3800, finding a cam that fits this. So it might have to be a custom grind. But let me show you the parts that come with this. I'm impressed with it. You know, you have your opinion, you know, I have mine. So this is the box that the turbocharger comes in. And this is your turbo. It's just a T4 turbo. Nice size. I'm going to try to do mine without the AC delete, but it looks like the size of that turbo, I'm going to have to delete the air conditioning. So, you know, it comes with all your hoses, your barb fittings, your manifold gaskets. Upon reading, there's two things you want to do. Either you want to go with gasket glue, or you want to upgrade the gaskets. That was the one thing that all the reads that I read complained that this leaks. Now that again might just be it's not torqued properly. So again, you have to put some built-in fail-safes for user error. But at the end of the day, if you're going to do something, do it right. You know, the gasket glue doesn't cost anything, right? So go ahead, and I would recommend. So you got some of your bolts here. I'm actually, little stuff like that, I'm going to upgrade, because a lot of times to save money with these kits, they go the cheaper route. Like so with the gaskets and your bolts, I'm actually going to order some upgraded ones. Here goes your 38mm wastegate. Comes with all your fittings, barbs, and that's your wastegate. Now, as far as the welds, listen, they're not bad. So this is your forward facing with your O2. Okay, not bad, but I'm not an expert when it comes to welding. So what I'll do is I'll relent that to somebody else. I'll show them the kit. You know, they might say it's the cheapest kit they ever saw. Or they might say, you know what, for what I plan on doing it with, it's great. So, because really, outside of the welds, your quality is really going to come in the type of stainless they use. And again, with big kits like this, you know, there's a cost. But my thought process is, if you got 100 people complaining that the welds are breaking or that they're leaking, you know, maybe the company takes an initiative, and then that's a strong maybe, and says, you know, we got to do better with our stainless so we can sell more of these products. So hopefully that's the mindset of the company that I got this from. And here goes your connecting pipe and your V-band connection. So the V-band connection, also I might have to replace that, because again, looking online at some of the complaints about this, those seem to be where your issues mainly come from. And I'm not talking about the connection itself, I'm talking about the actual clamp. But for the price, again, you know, I was going to wait till next year. It was going to cost me, you know, close to $1,500-1,200 for a turbo kit, which isn't bad, because for your Corvette, for your LS, and then that's your V-band clamp, the kit is like $7 grand. But like I said, for $550 with very little modifications required, you know, I said, you know what, a deal like this may never come back. And so here's my turbo kit. I do plan on installing this shortly. But again, if you have the opportunity to buy this, I would strongly encourage you, even if you plan on doing this job next year, to go ahead and try to get this kit now. Because again, with these Firebird parts, it's hit or miss. And I don't have all day to scour Facebook and the internet to look for parts as they come available. So as this became available, this is turning out to be probably the best 550 bucks I ever spent. So please subscribe if you like what you're hearing, the content, and thank you for watching.